The rainfall in India is not evenly distributed. Means there are some regions which receive the highest amount of rainfall, but there are some regions which do not receive even the adequate amount of rainfall. Then rainfall varies not only from place to place but also at the same place from year to year. It varies from place to place but at the same place from year to year. Suppose this year we receive a good amount of rainfall, but we are not sure that we are going to receive the same amount of rainfall the next year. So it is not, monsoons are very uncertain and it is not predictable how much amount of rainfall we are going to receive next year or the same year. So, rivers are flooded in regions of heavy rainfall and cause a huge loss of life and property. So, in the regions where we receive a huge amount of rainfall, they are facing a problems of flood, and because of the flood, we are facing a huge loss of life and property. Much of their water goes waste and flow into the ocean unutilized. So most of the water of these flooded regions are become waste, and they are mixed with ocean water without being used. We hardly use one third of our river water, so we can hardly use the one third of our river water. Side by side, there are some areas which get very low or scanty rainfall, all like that of Rajasthan. If the river water is flowed into the states, much of the scarcity of water can be improved. Till then, such states feel the pangs of scarcity of water. So, on the other hand, we have the states which do not have adequate amount of water, and they are facing the problem of droughts. They are facing the condition of drought every year, and because they receive a very low and scanty amount of rainfall. So you see, this monsoon is very uncertain, and it varies from place to place. There are regions in the same countries which are receiving of rainfall in such a way that we are having a flood, and also there are regions in the same country which are receiving the rainfall in a way that don't have a adequate amount of water for their day-to-day lives. So again, we are not in a position to fully utilize our groundwater resources. According to scholars, we have 40 million hectometers of groundwater resource, but we use only 10 million hectometers of groundwater. So you see, scientists have discovered that, according to the scholars, they have told us that we have 40 million hectares of groundwater, but we use only 10 million hectares of groundwater. The rest 30 million hectares are left unutilized, thus causing a scarcity of water. So the rest of the 30% of 30 million hectare of water resource left unutilized, and we face. Now we come on water conservation and management. So it is very important to conserve water, means to save water, and how to use that saved water, and that will be understood by the management of water. So water is quite necessary to quench the thirst of man, bird and beast. We need water in large quantity for irrigation to increase the agricultural production. Water is also needed to run our industries. Water is also necessary to cool the atmosphere and maintain the ecological balance. So you see that water is necessary in each and every field. We cannot live without water. Water is one of the most important things for the living being. There is no denying the fact that India has sufficient rainfall, but the rainfall in our country is seasonal. We do have a sufficient amount of rainfall, but what the problem is that we The rainfall we receive is a seasonal rainfall. That means we receive rainfall in one particular season from the whole year, and the whole year we do not receive rainfall. So we have to protect that water, we have to conserve that water, and we have to manage that water for rest of the year. It is not evenly distributed, and the next problem is it is not evenly distributed means. So we have already discussed the advantages and disadvantages of multi-purpose project. Now we are going to discuss people opinions in favor and against in multi-purpose projects. So we cannot march forward and compare with the world without taking with the help of dams. We have to irrigate our barren lands through the help of canals. We will have to produce hydroelectricity if we have to run our factories. We can devise certain methods to minimize their harmful effects. Every attempt should be made to first rehabilitate the people who are going to be uprooted by the constructions of dam. Employment should be provided to them in different activities linked with the dams or otherwise. So we know that people are adversely affected, those people who are living in the area where the dam has been constructed. So they have to shift from their place and they have to move from other place. So it is very disturbing for the people who are living there. So in recent years, multi-purpose projects and large dams face severe resentment and opposition of the public as well as civil society because of their multiple adverse effects. So Sardar Sarovar Dam project, built by Narmada River in Gujarat, caused large-scale displacement of local community. An NGO Narmada Bachao Andolan came forward with many environmentalists, tribal people, farmers and social activities demanding proper rehabilitation and ecological protection. Similarly, massive displacement in Tehri Dam project on Bhagirathi drew many social movements. So farmers were agitated upon a riot when more water of Sabarmati Basin, Gujarat supplied to urban areas over drought areas. So these dams are constructed and they have most of the time they have disturbed the people or the local communities are living there. So it will become very difficult for the people who are living there to start their life from the beginning in a new place. So they disturbs the life of the people they are already living there.